Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna do more runs on floor 110, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, for today's characters we have Emily, Kirara, and Nagi. These three are, these two are pretty easy to use, but Nagi, perhaps you want to use someone else. We're using over here the name of Fuma, keep that in mind. The name of Fuma is going to give you damage reduction. And even so, I had to change the build because I was going a little bit more aggressive and it has consistency issues. Due to the fact that I'm not waiting for particles to use my ulti at the end, just wasting time to charge the particles. So instead I decided to give this strategy consistency by adding a little more damage reduction. Since she has a ton of damage, she's one of the best damage dealers in the game, she can just commit that damage to defense instead. So we use the Momochi weapon to increase our damage by critting. We use critical damage, increase Magatames to deal with all kinds of enemies. We use attack Magatames on the sub-weapon to increase our stats. And whatever sub-weapon to increase our stats as well. Both weapons 5 out of 5, this one plus 15, this one plus 14. As for skills, you can use Mirage Strike or Sword Sail Play, depending on your priorities. Sword Sail Play to deal with the waves of enemies, Mirage Strike to just kill the boss. Then, Scorpio is an excellent way to deal with the mobs and also the boss. But you need to let the enemies gather because the AoE is pretty small. Then we have Sword Dance, that is a great way to heal and also to inflict a bunch of stacks from the Mochi weapon and also deal with most of the enemies because of the big AoE. Then we have Massacre Kunai, Shadow Fairy Sakura, and Felicia. Felicia is the damage increase. Massacre Kunai is the core. It's a balance supporter that gives you regen, defense, and attack. And Sakura is over here just to reduce the defense of the enemy. There's other options that you can use depending on what you have on your box. Things like Maika, which is going to increase the damage of your skills just by using the Momochi weapon. You can use Fuyumi. You can use Butler Asagi, Rika over here. There's also Ayumu. Because of the amount of multi-hits you can use this, but it's not the most consistent thing out there. There's also Arabella in case you are struggling with the bosses. Saya, of course. Anna Rose, Bright Anna Rose. And Kowaru. Of course, there's other pay-to-win options like the following three. And, well, let's check what we are going to do here. So, we have the stats over here. We have the stats of the stat training. And now, let's see what she's able to do. So, this is going to inflict not as much damage as it could, but it's going to give us consistency. We just wait for the enemies to gather and then we use our skills. And yeah, even without a third damaging supporter, we're able to clear the waves pretty easily, as you can see. As I mentioned, she's an excellent character. She deals great damage, but survivability, that's not her forte, you know? She struggles with it if you don't have enough damage reduction. And now, come on over here, just let me heal. And now I do this. Just a couple attacks. I just heal again and then I use the active. And then I use... No! I wasted my skill while the active was up. That's bad, but even so, the basics are pretty busted. They can do enough damage. Yep, like that. And I healed myself. So, usually the healing is not a great thing to pair with Massacre Cornet. But since Nagi in particular is very frail, you want to just have that healing option so that you have more control over your HP. And now we already have enough particles to do the ulti, which is great. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna position ourselves at the very end so that we can attack this character. We use the active and then we use the ultimate, and that's going to deal a tremendous amount of damage. Nice, nice, nice. It would deal even more damage if I had another damaging supporter, but alas, consistency is better than that. You just want to clear this. Oh, really? Not on range? Okay. Now I just use my basics. And I heal. A little bit, but I heal. Yeah, the good thing is that with that much damage reduction, she won't just explode me. Okay, now I need to wait a little bit. Just for my skill so that I can heal myself properly. Now, I start by focusing this thing because you don't want those blue ninjas next to you. They must be eliminated at all cost right away. And that's also why it is advantageous to have less damage, because you're going to be able to charge your particles faster. Or well, you're going to be able to charge your particles. If you just eliminate the enemies too quickly, you won't have enough time to charge your particles or enough hits to charge your particles for the last wave. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to use the ultimate pair with the active. We use active, we use ulti, and that clears most of the blue ones. Not all of them, but most of them. And that's all that we want, really. Because they are extremely annoying and they are just unbearable. If they lift you into the air, you might as well just reset the run if there are too many enemies. And just like that, we deal with this stage. Yeah, as I mentioned, I don't like to commit 2 slots to damage reduction, but it's what you need with Nagi. It is just easier. I already cleared this with a different supporter. I use, instead of Shadow Fairy Sakura, I use Bride and a Rose. This one. But these lack consistency, so I prefer to use the one that you see right now. Now, let's go to the next build. For Kirara, we're going blue. I mean, she could go green, definitely, but we're going blue. And let's see. I am using Luffy's Drop so that I have healing. If you go blue, probably Luffy's Drop is the best weapon that you can equip. But there's also the Skull one that gives you healing. It's not the greatest option, but healing nonetheless. Then we have critical damage, fire and ice. Whatever attack Magatemas on the subslot, whatever weapon on the subslot. 4 out of 5 plus 14 and 5 out of 5 plus 13. Then Snow Veil to deal damage, Blossoming Fog to reduce the speed of the enemy and freeze them, and Glacier Drop to freeze them. You can change one of these skills for Frigid Zone if you want. It is not a bad skill, but I prefer to focus on the freezing part. Then we use the Founding Tree to become tankier. I mean, this character is already tanky, but we also use it to increase damage and critical damage. Then we use Kirara to have a regen and a damage increase, and Rose to give consistency to crits and increase damage. Stats of the customs, stat training, and now let's do this. Kirara is really, I don't want to say that she's weak, but she requires specific builds to perform properly. She's not like too beginner friendly, in my opinion. But even so, with just Luffy's drop, you might be able to use this character early in the game, even at one copy. Now, we just use all our skills to deal with the different waves of enemies. We just freeze them. Glacier drop. Ah, glacier drop. That's the one that was missing. And now, yeah, constantly freezing the enemy, dealing huge amount of damage. Normal stuff, you know? Now, I guess I'll just do my basics. I also love the basic enhancer, but it is not the most viable thing to use because of the speed, though the damage is definitely worth it. Okay, glacier drop. And done. Yeah, thanks to the weapon and Kirara's supporter, we're able to heal a lot. And that's what makes this run viable. We could go with green with something more aggressive and riskier, because she has the damage on green. But there's no reason to do so. And maybe it requires limited equipment and such, so I rather use this one. That it is... well, while the supporters are not exactly F2P friendly, the strategy itself is. You can just replace them with something else, because there's Sakuya, there's Nana, there's Lilim. So you can just use this. There's also Akina. I mean, it can be done F2P. Nice, perfect. As for the next one, I'll just let them gather and use this. And done with the first ones. And now, done with these ones. Nice. I'm going to use my ultimate very easily. Actually, I should do this. I should use Glacier, and then I use the ulti. Oof, I didn't hit Kirara. Okay, doesn't matter. It's okay. And I don't even used to use the active of the supporter in this particular case. Okay, come over here. Nice, nice, nice. I just hit. And my god, too many mines. Snowbale. And basically it's done. I just stun lock her. Nah, it was this command. Yeah. Yeah, pretty easy. Honestly, Kirara is not as difficult as Nagi, because she is tanky. She has a decent amount of super armor, so you can just do this pretty quickly. And now, another one that is not that friendly. Well, this character is extremely busted. It has a ton of stats thanks to the skill and stuff. She's not the best option for challenging content. She can do it, particularly in blue, because there's many things that are going to increase her damage on the supported department. There's also good weapons, and her blue skill gives her HP recovery. But we are going red. We want to do it the fun way. So, we're gonna use the Momochi weapon. And let me just give her Magatamas. So, Momochi weapon to reduce the defense of the enemy. Then, we use critical damage Magatamas to increase damage against everyone. Whatever attack Magatamas to increase his stats. Whatever weapon on the subslot, 5 out of 5, both of them, and plus 14. Then we have Axe Impact to deal damage. Zero system, so that I don't have to press the button all the time to do the basics, to abuse the Momochi weapon. And Healing Field to be able to heal ourselves. If you don't like this, if you don't like zero system, change it, go on. I don't want to do it. If you want to do it, if you want to press the attack button all the time, that's fine, do it. I don't really care about it. You can use Aegis Tackle to gain more critical rate. You can use Ground Shocker to reduce speed, or also Drone Shocker to reduce speed. Whatever you want is fine. Or even homing bullets. Now, Susune to ensnare the enemies, heal and increase damage, because we are going to inflict debuffs with the weapon. Fujitsuki because huge damage increase, pretty useful. And Galilim to increase damage while giving me a little bit of damage reduction that it's very much needed. Then, stats of the customs, stats of the stat training, I mean of course they are maxed out, it's Emily, and let's do a run. Yeah, in the case of Emily, she can do it. She's pretty viable, but similar to Nagi, you want to lure the enemies onto the right position so that you deal as much damage as possible. The issue is she doesn't deal good damage overall. The only thing that deals good damage is her axe impact, which has a very long cooldown, and that's why you don't want to use it whenever you can. You have to be very conservative of that skill so that you use it on the right moment. Okay. Right now, it's an excellent moment to just use it. And I didn't kill anything. Nice. It happens, it happens. All the enemies are up. Okay, well, I'm going to use my active. And then I'm going to use Axe Impact to deal with one of them. And I am not activating the buff. Huh, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, because I need more damage. Okay, there, finally. The buff is up. If you get luckier, well, you're gonna deal with this way faster. Okay, skill, and done. Yeah, the damage increase on the Momochi weapon is extremely useful. 1, 2, 3, done. I have 4 stacks now. I keep healing myself. I can use again Susune. And I'll just use this. The basics are going to do all the work. And then, similar to Nagi, I'm gonna position myself properly so that I'm able to deal some hits before I use my ultimate against Nagi. Come on. Just a couple more hits. It didn't give me the 7th stack, but doesn't matter. Okay, nice. I just use my skills. I heal. I use the ultimate. And yeah, look at the damage. It deal a substantial amount of damage to Nagi. And I just deal with her easily. Now, we just wait for the animation and we will be able to just deal with these enemies in one go. Yeah, the super armor from the axe is pretty useful. Be careful, because Emily also has that issue that she can be launched into the air, but you won't have to deal with that problem as long as you use as long as you time the axe properly. I just use the axe. Yeah, because we don't want to deal with that. And I'll use the active so that the enemies stay far away. And now I'm going to use the axe one more time to deal with Kirara. And now I just need to deal with the mobs. Yeah, pretty doable, as I mentioned. The only thing is that you have to be careful with the timing of Rymax, and this proves that even her red build can do this. Actually, the one that has more troubles is the green one because of the few healing sources that are also viable for damage increase. On this particular stage, there's Misaki, but she's not for tower. So what do you think about this build, guys? Have you tried doing a run with Nagi? Let me know in the comments what were the results, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.